Hello YouTube, I just wanted to make a quick video documenting the DIY camera slider I made. It's actually an electric DIY camera slider, which is pretty cool. It's remotely operated with my airplane controller, my RC airplane stuff. So pretty much all you need for this is Lowe's, a hobby store, and possibly a skateboard shop if you need to find bearings. So anyway, I just want to make this video documenting it and showing anybody out there that's trying to do this, to give them some ideas for themselves. So I hope you enjoy. So if you take a look, I've used steel tubing and I've welded them onto this X bracket that I welded. If you do not have a welder, you could find some other material like PVC pipe or something like that, or you could use the metal piping and you could drill and figure out some brackets to make everything work. But anyway, so I've just basically welded these two steel pipes exactly the same all the way down and made these little X's with some flat pieces of metal. As you can see here, I have a brushed ESC motor, or a brushed ESC. All I'm using this for is to power my receiver. And right here I have a JR 590M servo, Z590M servo, and I've gutted this and put resistors in here to make it a continuous servo. So I use this servo to make this dolly run down the track. So it's pretty cool. As you can see here, I'm using a DSLR camera. Works great for video. Here's the little platform. I use the top of a little tripod from Walmart. I found this to be a little bit too weak for this big DSLR camera. If you're using a smaller camera, it'll be fine. But you might want to find something more beefy. I'm going to eventually upgrade this. So right here I've taken some, I think it's basswood, and I've cut it just to fit, and I've glued these two pieces on here, and what this does is gives it a place for this bolt to run through. And I've found skateboard bearings and made spacers out of a pin, and just made little spacers right here to make it ride perfectly down the track. And pretty much you can just browse the hardware section at your local hardware store and find everything you need. It takes a little bit of experimenting and playing around with it to get it just right. But anyway, that's basically it. And right here I have this wire. This is actually a wire from inside of a telephone wire, which is surprising, but a lot of other wires and strings that I've used kind of flex, and so you want something that's real solid. I'm not recommending this, but it's the best thing I had for the job. You want a wire or a rope or something like that that's not gonna flex like that, because you're gonna end up with pulsings like that on your sliding. So you want something real solid. And as you can see here, I've taken a grommet and a bobby pin, or a bobby reel thing, I'm not sure what that's called, from my mom's sewing machine, and I've CA'd a grommet from Lowe's. I got this at Lowe's. CA'd a grommet up top with a groove in it it's just nice rubber for this wire to catch on. And pretty much all that does is give it a nice wheel to pull, as you can see. And down here I've got a zip tie and a grommet and a bearing. And pretty much what this does is just tightens it up with the zip tie and gives it something nice to roll on, so it's not binding up on anything. But anyway, it works really, really great, and I'll demo it for you real quick. Okay, go ahead and turn my transmitter on and plug in my battery. Alright, so I've got my battery all plugged up and everything's on. And so pretty much the way a continuous servo works, oops, my controller's dying. Pretty much how this works is it's a continuous servo. It just goes all the way around and around and around. And you just center your stick and it will stop. But say you put a few hairs of trim on it, it'll continuously go at that rate because it thinks it's centered. So anyway, it's pretty neat. It gives you a nice, stable, just smooth ride along the track. So here you go. It's multiple speed, variable speed. Check this out. You go nice and slow. What I do is I just click it a couple times. The controller keeps dying. I click it a couple times and it'll just give it a nice, slow, constant speed that it'll go at. And that works pretty well right there. And you can also do it by hand. That's full speed right there. Stop it and then go again. So you know, it's pretty awesome. It works very, very well. I'm very, very pleased with this camera slider I made. I did use, let me turn this off. I used PVC pipe in a previous camera slider I made, and it was just too bouncy. I really recommend using the steel tubing. It works very, very well to keep it nice and rigid. You don't want any bouncing or anything like that. So anyway, I hope this gave you guys some ideas of your own to implement on your own camera sliders. So leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up or something if this was helpful to you. Peace.